What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we're going to talk about Gwenpool. We're going to see how important she's going to be not only for Cosmic Crucible but also for other game modes. She has some very interesting tags and that's going to open a lot of viability for her in different game modes. We are talking about raids, we are talking about Dark Dimension, and those are going to have new versions of their game modes. So you're going to have the Incursion raids and you're going to have Dark Dimension 6. So it's definitely a good time to be analyzing what kind of new characters we should gear up to use on those game modes at the same time as we use Gwenpool on Cosmic Crucible. She's going to be available as soon as the next patch drops, which should be on the 10th of May in 2 days. And she's going to be available with power cores. The reason why we are talking about this is because at the same time we are going to have this Interstellar Ignition event, which requires you to spend power cores, and it has some decent rewards. So we have some Isolate Pool level 4, we have some Isolate Pool level 5, we have Dark Promotion credits, and we also have some Bio Gear. We are going to need all of these materials in order to gear up the newest legendary character, which is going to be Nova. That will also be available within the next few days. It's going to be available 1 week after Gwenpool, so keep that in mind, as these rewards are going to be very impactful on gearing up your next legendary character. Okay, so with that in mind, let's talk about Gwenpool and see how deep should you go for her. Should you buy offers for her? Should you spend power cores for her during this event, the Interstellar Ignition? And if she's going to have a major impact in the game or not. So, as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure to share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure to smash that like button like a boss. Okay, let's get started. Let's talk about Gwenpool. Once again, she's going to be available within a few days, and you have 2 days to participate in this event while Gwenpool is in the game at the same time. So you can spend power cores in order to complete this, and we have a nice amount of Dark Promotion credits here, we have a nice amount of Isolate Pool level 5 here. That will allow you to progress towards the big boy Apocalypse, and that will also allow you to progress towards a bigger Quicksilver or Nova, depending on where you want to spend your Dark Promotion credits. In terms of tech gear, we don't have any announcement of tech characters coming soon, but it should be happening because the Bionic Avengers, they will not hold up on the Incursion raid, so we need something new to replace that tech team. Okay, so with this in mind, with the fact that we'll be able to obtain shards for Gwenpool with power cores, and at the same time we have this going on, let's take a look at Gwenpool and see if she's going to be a meta-changing character or not. Okay, so Gwenpool, we're going to take a look at her kit, but we're going to take a look at the kit and in reverse, because it makes more sense in reverse. But before that, I just want to talk about her tags. She has some very interesting tags, as she's Hero, City, Mystic, Brawler, and New Warrior. So she's going to have synergies with the New Warriors, and this means not only in Cosmic Crucible, but also in raids and also in Dark Dimension. Then we have Mystic Brawler. She's going to be able to have synergies with American Chavez, with Miss Marvel, so that means Young Avengers. She's going to get more health, she's going to be able to get those assists, and that would make her a decent striker character on some Hero Brawler team. And she's also going to be City. So you can use her for Dark Dimension. Dark Dimension 3, 4, 5, 6. It's something that we have to take into consideration. And the deciding factor is going to be how expensive she's going to be. If she's at the same cost as Firestar, which is only 2 sets of mini uniques, then she's going to be a very interesting option for this upcoming Dark Dimension 6, where we'll be able to obtain the new character Super Scroll. Okay, so let's take a look at Gwenpool's kit, and we're going to start off with her passive. On spawn, she's going to get 1 evade, and in Cosmic Crucible, she's going to get 1 evade for herself and the New Warrior allies. So this is going to increase the survivability of this team. It's like you have the Magneto Blind early on, and this is going to allow you to bypass some of the damage that we get from enemies in raids, but also in Cosmic Crucible with Spider-Man Noir. And yeah, so it's like you have a free turn early on with all these evades. On chargeable new warriors, and this is going to be Firestar, this is going to be Deathpool. She's going to apply additional charges to that character. In Cosmic Crucible, she's going to apply 2 additional charges rather than just 1. So once again, we have the additional viability for Firestar in other game modes like Dark Dimension, but specifically for raids and for Cosmic Crucible, we have Gwenpool being able to do her ultimate almost every other turn. And that's going to be great because she can one-shot one character with her ultimate. So huge viability with Gwenpool by giving charges to both Firestar and Deathpool in other game modes. When this character drops below 50% health, and if she has taunt, she's going to be able to give taunt to herself, so keep that in mind. She's going to heal herself for 40% max health and gain stealth. This is going to be fine. We have Cloak and Dagger with evades, so even if she has taunt and she loses the taunt and goes on stealth, you still have those other characters with good survivability. And then she's going to give 50% armor for new warriors and for herself. This is going to be great because armor is the new thing in the game right now, it seems. And the higher your armor is, the less damage you're going to take in the face. So this is going to increase the survivability of the other new warriors, once again in multiple game modes like Dark Dimension and like raids. In Cosmic Crucible, on top of additional armor, she's also going to give additional health, 40% health and 50% accuracy. So the new warriors are going to be super tanky, and the problems with Spider Weaver, the lack of accuracy is not going to be a problem anymore. And I see even the new warriors maybe being split in different teams based on what they can do in terms of trauma, negative effects, and so on. You could have a Cloak and Dagger going for the Gamma team against the Gamma team, and these characters being used on another team because they have that extra viability. Okay, so that's in terms of the passive. As you guys can see, tons and tons of survivability with evades, armor, and health. And on top of that, we also have this charge mechanic that is really going to change how Deathpool works on this team. Okay, let's take a look at her ultimate. Ultimate is a turn 2 ability, and it has a very long cooldown. I'm a little bit concerned about these long cooldowns on this character because it's going to compromise her viability in Dark Dimension. So that's a little bit of a problem, unfortunately. But we'll wait and see what's going to be the speed of the character, because if the speed is very good, the long cooldowns are not going to be a huge problem. Okay, so we are going to attack all enemies for normal damage, 500% multiplier. Clear all negative effects from self and all new warrior allies. So this is going to be important when you take a look at the special. Clear all negative effects from self and all new warrior allies. This is also going to pair up with how she counters Spider-Man 2099. In Cosmic Crucible, apply Safeguard, Defense Up and Speed Up to self and all new warrior allies. Once again, this is to counter Spider-Man 2099 and also to counter Icarus. In Cosmic Crucible, characters killed by this ability cannot be revived. So if you are lucky, maybe you're going to be able to one-shot the Spider-Man Noir or Spider-Man 2099 with this ability, and you don't have to worry too much about their additional turns. Okay, so once again, keep in mind that she's going to clear negative effects of Self and All New Warrior. She's going to get Safeguard, Defense Up and Speed Up, which prevents Icarus from being able to flip your positive effects on your team. Okay, let's take a look at her special, and the special is where all the kit comes together and how this team is going to work against Room 5 and Eternals with the Tangled Web. So once again, very expensive ability, 7 energy comes full, attack the primary target for damage, chain attack to 4 additional characters. Flip 3 positive effects into negative effects on each target. So this is going to flip the defense ups, the speed ups, the immunities that the Tangled Web or the Eternals usually have. And then she's going to gain a taunt. This taunt is to make sure that Spider-Man Noir is going to attack her instead of attacking your other more important characters. Apply 3 deflects to self and all new warrior allies, once again increasing the survivability. So even if you lost your evades, you're going to get all of these deflects. And keep in mind that you should have these deflects at the same time as you have the safeguard and defense up. So when Icarus attacks you, he's going to do 25% less damage against your characters based on all of these deflects. In Cosmic Crucible, flip the stealth on each of the targets where you chain 2. And this also, maybe you guys don't know this, but when you have this type of mechanics, flip stealth on a specific game, this activates before the main ability. So in Cosmic Crucible, first off you are going to flip the stealth, and then you are going to flip 3 additional effects to a total of 4 effects in Cosmic Crucible. Then you are going to gain immunity. Fill the speed bar of this character by 70%. This is going to allow you to have the special turn 1, and then right away you're going to have the ultimate. So this tells me that the speed of this character has to be like 126 or 127, so you can be faster than the Eternals. You have 30% speed bar from Deathpool, and then you have Gwenpool giving herself 70% speed bar, and this has to be before Icarus has his turn. So the characters need to be fast, otherwise it doesn't work, or maybe there is something missing about her kit that we don't know yet. But for me, she's gonna have more speed than Icarus, so around 126, 127, and together with the Deathpool, she's going to have 1 full turn before Icarus has his first turn. Okay, so she's gonna get 1000% extra focus to flip those positive effects into negative effects, and also flip the stealth. And this attack can chain through stealth targets. Counterattacks will stop this attack, but if you have 3 or more new warriors, this attack cannot be countered. So as you can see, she does literally everything you need in order to stop the new warriors with the Eternals, or the Tangled Web with Eternals. And then on top of that, keep in mind that all these negative effects that we are applying to the enemies, Firestar will be able to lock those negative effects there because of the trauma. Now let's take a look at her basic and ISO 8 attack, which is pretty much the same thing. So she's going to clear barrier from the primary target, and if the primary target had barrier, she's going to give herself a 30% barrier. And if the primary target did not have barrier, she's going to give only 15% of barrier to herself. She's going to attack the primary target only for a nice amount of damage, and she's going to apply defense up to a random new warrior ally that does not have defense up. Now, new warriors right now, they don't have any way of giving themselves defense up, so this have to be some additional mechanic, or this is going to help you out in other game modes where you have characters that give defense up. If this ability works the same way that the Firestar abilities work, then that means she can give defense up to herself, but once again it says random new warrior ally, so you're gonna have some inconsistency here. She would be a nice striker because of this barrier and because of this defense up, but at the same time is going to mess up with how the new warriors team works. Firestar seems like she would be a nice striker because of all the piercing damage she does, the blitz she applies, and the charge mechanic that she has on her basic. But it all depends on what's going to be the speed of these characters and how we are going to play with them. Right now we have Firestar being the fastest character on the team, with Deathpool coming next. The speed of Gwenpool we don't know yet, but if it's any slower than Deathpool or Firestar, it's gonna be super inconvenient. The flow of the team, the ISO 8 synergies and so on is gonna be terrible. So this is something that we are going to analyze as soon as this character gets released. And I really think that she's gonna completely change the ISO 8 setup that we have for this team based on her speed alone. And then in terms of priority of game mode. Because, yeah, maybe we want to have her as a striker in Dark Dimension and use instead Firestar as a skirmisher or as a raider to make sure that we have more vulnerabilities, and also to make sure that she's going to give as many defense subs as possible and get the barrier that she has on her basic. Okay, so let's take a look at some exclusive information that no one else has, of course. We're gonna take a look at the video from the developers. The video is about Firestar, but it's going to be very, very important to see if you can figure out the speed of Gwenpool. And of course, we're going to have the speed of Gwenpool. We're going to figure it out right away. And the speed is going to be some great news. Okay, so you can see Firestar in action. Once again, this is the presentation video of Firestar. This is on all the major platforms for Marvel Strike Force, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, I think Twitter too. Okay, you can see the full team here, and now you see Firestar attacking with her passive, the opposite team. She attacks the character with the highest speed. Usually it's going to be Morgan Le Fay on this specific case. Now, if you pay attention, you have the turn bar of Deathpool, we have the turn bar of Gwenpool, and we have the turn bar of Firestar. That means that Gwenpool is definitely faster than Firestar. So all of those things that I mentioned about the 100% turn meter and Gwenpool having 2 turns before Icarus, it's already confirmed. Yes, we're gonna have safeguard, defense up, speed up, and so on before Icarus has his own turn. This is very, very important, and once again, you don't find this kind of information anywhere else. Okay, let's take a look at the rest of the video. So Gwenpool goes first, then Firestar, then Deathpool, and then Cloak, and finally Dagger. This is gonna be very important because of the isolate setup. You want to make Dagger definitely a striker for the healing. Deathpool, she can be a skirmisher or a striker, depends if you want to spread negative effects or if you want to do more single target damage. Even that, I don't think on the full team the single target damage will matter. And then we have Firestar. The focus on Firestar is going to be extremely important if she's going to apply negative effects to characters like Morgan Le Fay. So you can see right here her passive attack triggering all the time. And if you have Gwenpool, so once again you can see the turn bar from Gwenpool. She's faster than Firestar because look at this. So Dagger had her turn. And Dagger had her turn, then Gwenpool had her turn as well. You can see the speed bar is a little bit blue, and then Firestar, she has less blue than Gwenpool. Very, very good news in terms of the playability of this character. Is this gonna be true or not on the live server? I hope so, but as always, remember that is subject to change as this is footage from the test server or from developer build. There was a nice reference. I don't know if you guys get this reference, but this is a reference to Quake, the first-person shooter game that is very popular, rocket jump, where you throw rockets on the floor, you jump higher, and then you can shoot your enemies. But yeah, exclusive information on the speed of Gwenpool, very exciting, and definitely we're going to help her having more value in other game modes. Okay, so in conclusion, Gwenpool, she has all the tags that we wanted for her. She has new warriors, she has brawler, she has hero, she has city, she has mystic. So a lot of synergies with a lot of characters, a lot of viabilities in multiple game modes. The problem is that her kit is a little bit convoluted. Her kit definitely works great in Cosmic Crucible, but is the kit also going to work in other game modes? The fact that the cooldowns are so long is definitely a point of concern in terms of Dark Dimension viability. In Cosmic Crucible and in raids, I think she's gonna be amazing, but outside of those 2 game modes, I have huge doubts. We have tried the new warriors in Alliance Wars with Firestar, and they are not beating any teams, even the most mediocre teams like Hero Asgardians, so that's definitely a point of concern. So we're gonna be testing out Gwenpool on Twitch and on YouTube as soon as she is released. We're gonna test her out in Alliance Wars, Dark Dimension, and also in raids. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.